Hey everyone, Couch Investor back to another video for today. So like I said, this week is full of earnings report. And last night we had Google, we had Microsoft, this morning we had Shopify, Spotify. I'll cover a lot of them on this channel, so make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Now, for Google, they missed, but the stock is up 5.5% or so at the time of making this video. Now again, all of that can change after Jerome Powell speaks, because today the overall market is green, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, even Shopify is green, but we're going to have a look at Shopify at a video later today. So Google, they missed, the stock is up. What happened that quarter? We're going to have a look right now, but if you want to support this channel, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment to get the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couch investor and make sure to check out all the other links in the pinned comment. So let's have a quick look at their report. Right, so as you can see right here, revenue came in at $69.68 billion. That's up 13% year over year, or 16% on a constant currency basis. Now, as for operating income, that grew 28%, so that's less operating margin from last year. And as you can see, net income has come down as well from 18.5 billion last year to just over 16 billion right now, and diluted earnings per share from $1.36 last year to 1.21. Now, of course, during the call, during this report, like with every other big company that has a worldwide presence, everybody talks about FX, foreign exchange, and the fact that the dollar is very, very strong. So the business takes a hit as well. It's something that you will hear over and over and over throughout this earning season. Now, how did the business perform, the business segments here? So Google Search and others is up from $35.8 billion to $40.6 billion. YouTube ads grew a little bit from 7 billion to 7.3 billion. I think it's still less than Amazon. And I think it is also maybe a bit less than Netflix. So there is that. Google Network grew quite nicely, 7.59 billion to 8.25 billion. And then overall, that's Google Advertising, grew $6 billion year over year. Now, the Google Other segment actually decreased year over year. Google Other is Play Store, YouTube subs, etc. So Google services totaled have increased $5 billion year over year. Now, Google Cloud, and that's probably the main reason why the stock is actually up. And that's because, well, Google Cloud grew from $4.62 billion to $6.27 billion year over year. But don't get too excited because, well, there is still bad news with regards to cloud. And then other bets haven't really moved that much. Hedging gains, so in the parentheses losses, last year 7 million, this year 375 million in a positive, which totaled that $69.68 billion in revenue. And then something you want to see and look at very, very closely is the number of employees. They increased that number by 30,000. Now, you might say, yes, okay, 2021 was a year where everybody was still hiring. Now that's changing. Well, from Q1, they actually increased by 10,000. So hiring freeze at Google, not happening as of today. All right, and now let's have a look at how profitable each segment actually is. And this is where the problem lies. So obviously Google Services is up just a little bit. And then this is the problem. Google Cloud, not profitable yet, even worse than last year. Whereas if you look at Microsoft Azure and AWS, that's a completely different story here. Now, yes, during the call, the CEO did mention that right now Google is not really in a growth phase. They are optimizing for profitability. So you would want to see in the next coming quarters, these numbers right here improve to become profitable, because you can see again, other bets, not profitable, even worse than last year. Corporate cost unallocated, a bit better, but overall total income from operations, basically flat year over year. And that's an issue. Now, I do want to touch on two things that was mentioned during the earnings call. So the first one is YouTube Shorts. So taking a closer look at YouTube, YouTube Shorts are watched by over 1.5 billion signed in users every month with more than 30 billion daily views. In Q2, YouTube TV surpassed 5 million subscribers, including trialers, so the free trials, There's also a lot of potential for shopping on YouTube. Just last week, they've announced a partnership with Shopify, which I'm going to touch on in the next video. It will help creators easily connect their stores to YouTube and enable shopping across their live streams and videos. Now continue on shorts here because it is becoming a more important part of YouTube, especially when they want to compete with TikTok, which is exactly what's happening right now. So they are still in the early stages of testing monetization with ads, because if you're a creator on YouTube and you have even billions of views via the shorts videos, you will still make just a fraction of what you could make with longer form videos. And that's because, well, monetization of shorts, even on Instagram Reels, as we've seen, is still in the early stages. And last thing I want to touch on before I conclude is the search part and the retail part. Now, we've seen Walmart's earnings, and well, it wasn't great. They've talked about retail and the slowdown in spending, etc. But if you look and see what Google has said here, Google search and other advertising revenues of $40.7 billion in the quarter were up 14%, driven by both travel and retail. When you hear that, you think, well, that's extremely weird. Well, travel maybe not, because probably Airbnb are going to knock it out of the park. But retail, hearing that retail is booming on Google search, well, that's interesting. Now, when you take all of this information into consideration, you might say that maybe Google is actually, well, going to come out of this position a bit stronger when it comes to retail, because, well, Google is this, let's say, one-stop shop. If you want to advertise, if you have some products, just go through Google directly. Now, with the partnership with Shopify, if you're a YouTuber, it makes it even easier. But if you want to advertise, because if you look at what Walmart said, you might say that advertisers will stop paying YouTube, well, to promote stuff, to promote product. But when you hear what Google have to say, and they say that, well, they see search volume for retail, for travel being up quite significantly, those arguments are a bit conflicting, and maybe, just maybe, more people are just willing to work straight to Google and not go through Walmart. That's just one option. But overall, to me, the main reason why the stock is up and not down is because, well, the results were not as bad as feared. Cloud is a bit growing, but still not profitable. And, well, seeing what they said during the call, they will probably be optimizing for profitability rather than more growth, which, to be honest, it might be a very, very good play right now. Obviously, do share your thoughts down in the comments below. I will also be adding Google to this channel's portfolio on stockcard.io. It's free to follow. All you have to do is click the link down in the description and in the pinned comment and just follow it. You can even create your own portfolio and put that portfolio in our contest, and you might win $250 at the end of the year. It's free to enter, so why not? So again, share your thoughts of this quarter down in the comments below. Stay tuned for the Shopify video, and if you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, maybe hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.